PC Gamer. Hoy estamos en el Hard Rock Hotel en Cancún para presenciar la final de la ECS en la temporada número 4. Acompáñenos para ver quién va a ser el gran ganador de esta competencia. What can you tell us about these kind of competitions? Do you feel the pressure that the gamers have?
Yeah, I think to an extent, a lot of it is really trying to get into the minds of sort of what the players are experiencing and trying to communicate that to the fans. And there's a lot of parts to that. I mean, commentary is definitely one of them, and that's part of our job. But also, we have so much going on behind the broadcast, and how we're going to try to use the cameras and so on to catch the emotional moments, to really capture the pressure as well as just try to tell the storylines. And by doing so, you really start to understand the stakes and how much it truly means for the players. And that's sometimes very difficult to capture, because I think, for example, one of the hardest things to capture is what it's like to truly lose or win an event, because it's when these players, they're sacrificing so much of their life. It's more than a full-time job for them. It doesn't stop. It's eat, sleep, and breathe Counter-Strike. And so when you spend all this time, all this hard work, just over months, you go to the event and let's say you lose. That might be less than 2 minutes that we'll see of that loss. But for them, it's going to be a very crushing emotional moment where, imagine pouring every ounce of your being into the thing that you love the most, and then basically sort of being not good enough. Yeah. That's a very serious thing, and so it's very important, I think, for us to try our best as possible, to really convey that, because that's what it's all about. It's like the emotional moments, these storylines between the players and the teams and where they've come from to really try to achieve their dreams. Essentially, is what it is.
So how are you feeling right now that your guys are in the semifinals of this championship?
It's good. We still have to beat FaZe to make it to the semis, so I think it's going to be a tough road, but we're excited to play.
How do you prepare for this road?
Yeah, usually we generally relax for a little bit, and then maybe around an hour and a half before the next game, we'll talk as a team, go over the game plan, go over what maps we think is going to be, and from there we just come up with the game plan and then we play the match.
And do you have any plans for the future, like changing something in the strategy?
I think depending on the team we're playing and what's currently kind of, you can say, popular for teams to be doing, professional teams, we change in strategies, we come up with some new ones during our off time.
How do you deal with all the pressure about this competition 7?
It's easy. Just think about yourself and think about it's a team game. I feel really comfortable in this team. They're really super good guys outside the game and also in game. So I'm having a good time. Also, I've been used to I've been playing this game for so long time. I've been playing the big stages and I feel comfortable all the time. So no problem in that.
You got to learn it over time. I've been playing at top level for 4 years now. So you really need to remain calm and just try to focus, and that's it. You can't let stuff get to you while you're playing on big stages or in big matches. So it's just in your head that you need to stay calm.
Do you remember that feeling the first time you played?
Yeah, playing at a big stadium or a big stage at that time. It wasn't in stadiums like it is now, but it was still in front of 1,000 people, and it was it was some pressure. But
first competition was in LGB, where we were playing the major qualifier, I think, and we qualified to the major. That was kind of the first big step for me, and of course we were a bit nervous, but we were so confident that we were going to qualify, because then I actually was playing with Rain, that is playing in FaZe now. So yeah. yeah, we were kind of nervous, but we played really good and qualified.
It's always funny because face it, like 5 years ago they had these weekly Quake Cups, and back then they were running it out of this makeshift studio in an office in Milan. They liked me, but it was really nerve-wracking. Like I had no idea. Like it's so funny because one of the things that you learn when you're doing camera stuff a lot is that a lot of it is sort of like your emotions sort of like reflected in your eyes. So if you're feeling like nervous, like your eyes will get like very intense. So there's like this kind of like death stare, you know, like you're gonna murder someone. And so that's like absolutely what was happening. I looked so intense. It's really weird.
Yeah, I was just with a bunch of friends from a previous game. It was back in probably 2012 for this game.
Then how do you feel about it? You were nervous?
No, just because I was older at the time. So I was after I did college and everything like that. So it wasn't super nervous. It was just a lot of fun. And back then we just we talked a lot of crap between amongst each other. So it was just kind of fun. Yeah.
Any advice for the gamers or for people that is trying to get involved into this way, playing and the competition?
What I say is, like obviously working hard is obviously very important, right? But one thing as well is that it's very easy to not see the path to like where you want to end up. And that's I think where a lot of people get stuck. You never know, you never know what's going to happen and what opportunities you'll get along the way. So you have to have the vision, sure, but you have to be able to really work with setbacks and really just never get discouraged by those setbacks. And so that's I think one of the most important pieces of advice that I can give someone is that if something's like not going your way, find a way to make it work. Be creative. Don't get negative.
The main thing is that I think find a team of 5 people that you can play a lot with. Scrim as much as you can. Join whatever platform you guys have available, ESEA, Facebook, whatever it is, and just keep playing a lot. And eventually, you want to start playing leagues with them. Don't get mad at your teammates. Try to focus on your mistakes, and that's it. From there on, if you're good enough, you'll get picked up.
I would say that listening to the experienced guys, learn from your mistakes and don't think you know everything, because it's all the time you have something new to learn. So just try to improve.
Honestly, you have to put in a lot of time to get really good, and then you have to realize your own mistakes, and you always have to try to improve. Like you can't just play to play. You need to see what you're doing bad and see what you're doing good.